Right. Okay, let's begin. We're going to begin, as we always do, by setting up the body. So we're going to let's start with V feet today. So let's start by engaging those inner thighs, drawing those inner thighs together. As we draw those inner thighs together, let's think about drawing up through that pelvic floor and then also drawing that lower belly in towards the spine. So we've got that little gentle core engagement right from the beginning. From there, we're going to separate the toes or the feet to become V feet. So bring those feet out to our Pilates V feet. We're going to lift the heels up and we're going to pivot them around. And when we lay them down, we're going to have parallel feet. By doing it that way, it should automatically put us right into our hip distance position. Okay, now I just want you to think about the bottom of your feet, the pressure being nice and even between the left and right foot, the front and back of both feet, and also the inside and outside of both feet. So we're not allowing those ankles to roll in or out. Okay, from there, just working our way up the body. Soften through those knees. We don't want to lock out those knees at all, just nice soft knees, a little bit of bounce. Working on up a little bit higher towards the pelvis. Let's place those fingertips on our hip bones, tucking those thumbs behind. We're going to go straight into a few little pelvic tilts forwards and backwards. So sideways on as we tilt the pelvis forwards, that bottom sticks out behind, we get quite a deep curve in our lumbar spine. As we tilt the pelvis into posterior tilt, that tailbone tucks under, we flatten out that back. So we're just going between those two ranges. And then we're going to start to make that movement just that little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until we've kind of leveled out that pelvis. We've found that point where we feel nice and centered and we found our neutral spine. Then arms down by our sides. We're going to inhale those shoulders up towards the ears and exhale them back and down. Inhaling and exhaling. Think about what those shoulder blades are doing. As we bring the shoulders up, they're separating. As we draw them back down, we're gently squeezing them together to really open through the chest. Now this time, just allow those shoulder blades to settle softly down the back. We're going to keep them down there. We create this lovely length throughout the neck. Think about softening through that collarbone. Crown of the head reaching up to the ceiling. Straight into a couple of little head turns, left and right, to start checking in with the neck. Seeing how we're feeling. Those muscles that run through the neck into the upper back. With the breath, exhaling as we turn the head away, inhaling as we bring the head back to center. Okay, you're going to bring your face back to center. Let's drop that chin towards the chest. Allow the crown of the head to start getting heavier and heavier. So it's almost pulling your head forwards. Feel that stretch deepening down the back of the neck. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're just going to ease one ear across to one shoulder. So you're going to feel that stretch just move around to the outside of the neck. We're going to inhale back down and then exhale the other ear over towards the other shoulder and back and down. Just allowing that head to roll side to side. Okay, and then we're going to bring that head back up to center. And again, just checking with those shoulder blades, make sure those shoulders are still back and down. Big arm circles now. We're going to inhale those arms up to the ceiling and exhale them back and down. Now, as we're doing this, we don't want to flare the rib cage. We want to keep that distance between the hips and the bottom rib the same. So the movement is coming from the shoulder joint and not from arching through the back or expanding that rib cage. We're going to add a little heel raise. We're going to bring a little bit of balance into it. So as the arms come up, let's lift those heels up. As the arms come down, we're going to lower those heels back down. So take your time peeling those heels up. Think crown of the head leading the way. And then lowering those heels back down. And again, try and think about keeping that toe joint anchored down to the floor. Let's go for one more. And then allow those heels to come back down. Okay, from there, we're going to go into a roll down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to allow that chin to drop down. We're going to allow the head to get heavy again. That crown of the head is going to start to pull us down to the floor. Allow those arms to just dangle free from the shoulder joints. Check in with that core, check in with those knees, nice soft knees. At the bottom of this stretch, let's have a nice big deep breath in and out. On the next exhale, we're going to scoop the belly in as we roll ourselves back up. Rebuilding, restacking. The movement sort of starts from that deep core and allowing those shoulder blades just to fall back into place. Let's do that again. Big breath in. And exhale as we nod that head down. Arms are dangling, leading the way. Crown of the head pulling us down. This time we're going to have a couple of breaths in and out. Every time we exhale, perhaps we could go just a fraction deeper. Really opening through the back of the body. We're going to exhale our way back up for the last time. And then one last one. Inhale. Exhale as we nod the head all the way down. And again, a couple of big deep breaths at the bottom. How deep can we come into this stretch? Okay, on our next exhale, we're going to bend those knees and come down into a high kneeling position. That's it. We're going to float the arms up and place the hands behind the head, just interlinking the fingers. And I like to run my thumbs down the back of my neck just to gently grip it so that I can keep my neck nice and long and in alignment with the rest of my spine. We're going to do some lateral flexion. So keep those elbows out to the side. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're just going to lean over to one side, a little side bend. Inhale back up and exhale over the other way. I want you to imagine you're sandwiched in between two panes of glass. We can't tilt forwards. That top elbow can't come forwards. It's up to the ceiling. And we can't lean backwards. That's it. Really open through the sides of the body. One more each way. And then when we come up, we're going to take the left hand down to the floor. This is where we're going to use the book or block. You're going to place that hand on the block and we're going to extend the other leg straight. Okay, so now our weight is going through that kneeling leg and the hand that's on the block or book. Okay, other hand, let's just float it back up and take it behind the head. We're going to come into some leg lift and lowers. So scoop that belly in. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale that leg up and down for 8. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Now when the foot comes down, just rest the toes on the floor. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale that top elbow down. So we're going to rotate, see if we can get that elbow towards that bottom elbow and then coming back. That's it. And again, so exhaling that top elbow down and up. Again, think about scooping that belly in, that lower belly, as we rotate that elbow down. Last 3. 3. 2. And last 1. Now just bend the straight leg, just come up to high kneeling, just release off that wrist that we were leaning on. I'm not quite done on that side yet. Just circle that hand.
It feels in my bum.
You feel it in your bum?
I feel it here.
Yeah, you will do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we're not done yet either. So come back down.
Oh,
Stretch that leg out straight. Take that arm back behind the head. We're now going to lift that leg up so it's almost parallel to the floor or in line with your hip. Pointed foot, we're going to kick forwards. Flex foot, we're going to draw back. And we're going to go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just come down. Give that hip, or give both hips a bit of a rub. This gets right in there. Right, from there, we're not going to go straight onto the other side. We're going to come onto all 4s for a bit of Superman. Now, you can either keep those knees under the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders, or if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can step those hands a little bit further forwards and those knees a little bit further back so they're no longer directly underneath the hips. This requires a bit more core strength, a bit more stability of the hips and the shoulders. Let's scoop that belly in, shoulder blades down the back. We're going to start with the right arm, left leg. Let's inhale and exhale it away. Inhale back down and exhale the other arm and leg away. Now, as you're placing the hands back down, try and avoid creeping them back in. Same for the knees. We're going to go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just come back into a little child's pose. Stretch through those glutes. And then we're going to repeat that little sequence all on the other side. So when you're ready, grab your book or block. Place the other side if you're ready. We're going to float both arms up, hands behind the head, a little bit of lateral flexion again, running those thumbs down the back of the neck. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale over, side to side, really stretching through the waist. And let's go for 1 more each side. Then, keeping the left hand behind the head, right hand's going to come down, left leg is going to come out to the side, ready for our lift and lowers. So again, strong core. We're going to exhale that top leg up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, and just keep those toes on the floor. We're going to inhale, exhale that top elbow down as we rotate, and then come back up. And so we're getting right into that hip as well. 6, As we rotate, draw that lower belly back deeper towards the spine. And the last one, just bend that straight leg, just come up a moment, release off the wrist of that supporting hand. And then we're going to finish with those forward kicks. So when we're ready, we're going to come back down, top hand comes back behind the head. We're going to float that top leg up, pointed foot as we kick forwards, flex to draw back. Point to kick forwards, flex to draw back. And 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees down. And we're going to just move the box or block or book out the way. We're going to turn around the other way. Back to a bit of kneeling Superman, but this time have your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, because we're going to add a little bit of movement of the arm and leg out to the sides. Again, starting with right arm, left leg, let's send them away. Hold them at the same height as we take them out to the side. So the right arm heads to the right, the left leg heads to the left. We bring it back to center and we come back down. And left arm, right leg. So you'll try not to let your body travel. That is still square on with your mat. It's just the arm and the leg that move out to the side. We're going to go for one more each side, making sure we finish with a left arm movement. And when that hand comes down again, just sit back into little child's pose. And then from there, we're going to come to seated. We're going to start with some half roll-ups in this position. So find that lovely long, tall spine. Again, crown of the head reaching up. Shoulder blades are down your back. Abs are engaged. We're going to bring those arms up to shoulder height. Take a breath in. On the exhale, we're going to find that C curve of that lower spine. We're going to come back about halfway. You're going to hold it as you take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to draw yourself back up to that lovely tall spine. And again. When you're holding it, just check in with those shoulders. Make sure they're not hunched up around your ears. Okay, we're going to do a little add-on. We're going to be adding an arm circle. We're going to go for a single, single, double. We'll do a few of those and then we're going to add a twist of the body as well. So let's find that half roll back position. We're going to hold it. We're going to circle the right arm. Keep your chest facing the same way as your knees. Then the left arm. Just work that whole range of the shoulder joint. So really scoop those abs. We're going to do both arms together. How far back can we take them without those heels lifting? And then we're going to come up to that lovely tall spine. And again, we're going to go for the right arm and the left. And both together. before coming back up. We're going to do that one more time before we add a twist. Okay, so it's just a little add-on. As the arm rotates, we're going to rotate the body towards that arm that's moving. So you're going to find your half roll up position. As the right arm circles, we're going to rotate to the right. We're going to come back to center. The left arm will rotate as we rotate to the left. Now we keep the body centered as both arms go overhead before coming back up. So we're going to do that 2 more times through. So we roll back, right arm twist, and left arm twist. Keep the body centered as both arms circle and coming back up. 1 more time through. All the way back up. That's it. From there, we're going to stretch those legs out nice and long. Still with that lovely tall spine. We're going to do just a transitional roll up to get ourselves all the way down onto our mats. When we are down, we're going to take those arms all the way overhead and come into a lovely full body stretch. Just come back to your breath for a moment. Nice big deep breaths in and out. We're going to move on to single leg stretch, but we're going to really slow this one down. It's almost going to be in slow motion. When you're ready, just float those arms back up and over and bend the knees as you walk your feet towards your bottom. Have a little shuffle around. Make sure you feel nice and even, both sides of the body. Shoulder blades are down your back. Then we are going to imprint the spine into the floor. We're going to bring the right leg into tabletop, followed by the left. We're going to pick up the head and shoulders. We're going to grab the left leg. The right hand is going to grab the knee. The left hand is going to grab the outside of the ankle. You're going to draw it in as you extend the other leg away. This is our starting position. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, for the count of 4, we're going to release the leg, switch them over for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We should be grabbing the right leg now. Inhale. Exhale, release for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We draw that leg in towards the chest and release for 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, I'm going to let you just count in your head. I want those shoulder blades to be off the floor, hovering off the floor. How high can we get them? Can we come up just a little bit more? We're going to go for 2 more. And last one. Keep those shoulder blades off the floor. Then we're going to hug both knees in, rest the head and shoulders down, and just gently rock side to side. We're keeping things slow for this next one as well. I'm going to do a bit of crisscross, and then I'm going to add a little leg variation afterwards. So when you're ready, we're going to take the hands behind the head to make a little cradle. The legs are going to come to tabletop. So starting with the head and shoulders down, we're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to bring the right elbow towards that left knee as we draw it in. We extend the right leg straight. We're going to inhale back to center. we find centre. This is nice and slow. As we exhale, we're going to twist the opposite way, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Then slowly come back to centre. The head and shoulders come back down. Again, exhaling. Inhaling back. Again, exhaling. Inhaling back. We're going to do 2 more. So that leg that we're extending away, try and get as low to the floor as we can. Okay, so this is where the leg variation comes in. I'm going to crisscross again, so right elbow to left knee, my right leg is extended low to the floor. I'm trying to connect my elbow to my knee. My right leg, keeping it straight, I'm going to lift it up towards the ceiling. I'm going to lower it down. Then I'm going to come back to centre. That's it. Then I'm going to exhale over the opposite way. Try and connect that elbow to knee if I can. Then I'm going to float that leg up to the ceiling and down before coming back to that centre point. One more each side. My abs are on fire. Oh, one more, and I think we're due a full body stretch. Oh. We're going to bring one foot down to the floor, then the other one. We're going to stretch those legs long. Take those arms all the way overhead.
Oh.
And reach those fingertips as far away from those toes as possible. That was intense. Oh, I think after that, we're going to move the focus to the back of the body and then we'll come back to the front of the body again. So when you're ready, we're going to roll onto our bellies and we're going to come into the dart position. So we're going to have our arms down by our sides, legs together, nice and long, shoulder blades down the back. We're going to keep that back of that neck nice and long. Right, so we're lifting that belly button up towards the spine. Keeping the feet down, we're going to take a breath in and exhale the chest off the floor. Inhale back down. And again. Just with your breath. If you were to need to have your hands on the floor, you can take your hands underneath your shoulders for a little bit of assistance. We're going to go for one more. We're going to hold it. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, check in with that neck, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. From there, place one hand on the back of the other hand so that we can rest our foreheads down and just take any stress out of that neck at all. The legs are still together. We're going to be doing some leg lifts now. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, squeezing the legs together, we're going to bring them up off the floor to the height that we can maintain with those glutes. We're going to keep that height as we separate the feet to about the width of your mat. You're going to bring them back in together using those inner thighs and then allow them to float back down to the floor. Exhale as we lift. Inhale to separate. Exhale back. Inhale down, ready for another exhale to lift. So there's 4 parts to the move. So 2 breaths to do that whole 1 rep. Two more. Last one. And then just allow those legs to come down. Take those hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to come back into little child's pose. Sitting those hips back over towards your heels. Reaching those arms forwards. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're going to just come back over onto our backs. Come back down, all the way onto the floor. We're going to have the knees bent, feet are staying on the floor for this next one. We're going to take the focus a bit more to the obliques, to the waist. Left hand behind the head, making that little cradle. Right arm down by your sides. Okay, I've got my palm facing inwards towards my thigh, thumbs pointing up to the ceiling. We're going to peel the head and shoulders off the floor. So we're getting those shoulder blades just hovering. We're going to hold this height. We're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale and reach the fingers towards that ankle. Inhale back to center. Exhale as we reach. Inhale back. 6 more. 6. Last one. Keep those shoulder blades hovering. We're going to bring the arm up and over so the hand is trying to aim towards the outside of the other leg, the opposite leg. Now we're just going to reach, almost like little pulses. We're going to exhale and reach, almost like we're soaring through that thigh. We're going to go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just come back down to the floor, head and shoulders, arms going to come overhead. Still got the left hand behind the head. We're going to stick with that exercise, but we're going to alternate. We're going to do 2 of one, followed by 2 of another, 4 rounds. So let's bring the arm back up and over. Let's inhale, exhale the head and shoulders off the floor. Inhale, exhale, we're going to reach that ankle for 1, and then 2. Keep those shoulder blades hovering. Arm comes to the other thigh. We're going to soar for 1, 2. Going to go back to those ankle reaches for 1, 2. Back to soaring the other thigh. 1, 2. 2 more rounds. Last round. And then we're going to come all the way back down. Let's bring that arm overhead. Let's bring the other arm overhead as well for this one. Nice deep stretch. We need to repeat that one on the other side. So when you're ready, take the right hand behind the head, left arm down by your side. Let's take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to bring those head and shoulders, shoulder blades off the floor. Take a breath in. We hollow out that belly. As we exhale, reach for the ankle for 8. 4, 2, keep those shoulder blades off the floor. Take the arm across the other thigh, and we're going to go for 8 little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's the head and shoulders come back down. Take that arm overhead. Little quick breather before we go into those alternating. 2 of each and then 4 rounds of those. When you're ready, let's bring that arm back up and over. Exhale the head and shoulders off the floor. It's going to go for 2 ankle reaches. 1, 2. Take the arm across the other thigh. So 2 little saws. 1, 2. Back to the ankle reaches. Across the thigh. 2 more times. Last one. And then we're going to just come all the way down to the floor. Let's stretch those legs out nice and long, both arms overhead, and draw that belly button down. Okay, we're going to bring those arms back up and over. We're going to use the block or book again for this next one. You're going to place it, we're going to be doing the bridge, you're going to place it underneath your right foot. Just get it into position so that your feet are quite near to your bottom. So looking at your knees, your right knee should be higher up than your left knee. Okay. So we're just creating a little bit more instability for that pelvis. That pelvis is going to have to work that much harder. Arms down by our sides. We're looking for even pressure going through both feet. Let's take a breath in and exhale. So start to imprint through that spine, pushing both feet down, coming up into that nice bridge. So if you were to look at your hips now, there should be just a slight slant on the hips with the right hip being a little bit higher up. Inhale, and then exhale back down. Come back to your neutral spine before we go for the next one. So even pressure pushing down through both feet as we come up. We just try not to let those hips sway side to side. Coming back down. We're going to do 2 more. Now, when we come back down out of this one, we are going to be doing a little add-on. We're going to come back up into the bridge. So pushing both feet down. The right foot on the block is going to stay where it is. The left one, we're going to bring that leg into tabletop. We're going to tap it back down and lift it back up. So this right glute's working hard here. And we're going to go for 6, 5, 4, 3, and 1. When that foot comes back down, we're going to come out of that bridge and we're going to hug that right knee into the chest. Let's give that glute a little bit of a stretch. Okay, now I'm just going to slide my block under my left foot. Just make sure I'm nicely hip distance apart. Arms back down on the floor. We're going to inhale and exhale up into our bridge. So 4 bridge, and then we're going to add that lift and lower. So squeezing through both glutes, even pressure through both feet. And let's go for our second one. try and keep those hips kind of steady on the way up and the way down. We're going to go for one more bridge. Now we're going to come straight back up. We're going to hold the bridge. We're going to work this left glute now. So support yourself, use your arms for stability. Right leg is going to float into tabletop and down. Left glute is squeezing hard. And 7, 6, 5. Don't let those hips drop. 2 and 1. When that foot comes down, come down out of your bridge and hug that left knee into your chest. That's it. Okay, just slide your book block off your mat. We're not going to use that for the next one. Place both feet down on the floor for a moment. We're going to go back to a bit more core specific focus work now. We're going to float the right leg into tabletop. We're going to hold onto the back of that thigh with both hands. We're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, you're going to start to peel your head and shoulders off the floor and straighten the leg at the same time, using that leg to help draw you up. That's it, so we come into this little curl up. Then we're going to bend the knee and allow ourselves to return back down to the floor. We're going to do 3 more just like that. Exhale, it's almost like a modified teaser. Really hollowing out that belly and then coming back in. Okay, one more. Now when we come back in, come down, stretch your left leg straight along the floor. We're going to carry on with this same movement. Exhale as we lift. And inhale as we come back down. So you might actually feel it's a little bit easier. Perhaps we can get a little bit more height. Perhaps we could even come all the way up to seated. If you want to progress a little bit more, instead of holding the back of the thigh, reach those arms long. And then reach for the foot as we come up. So this is a little bit like a single leg teaser. We're going to do one more on this leg. And then we're just going to come back down. We're going to just bend that left leg back in. Take a moment, let that core recover. Come back to your breath. Okay, now left leg comes into tabletop. We're going to hold on to the back of that thigh with both hands. Take a breath in. Exhale as we lift the head and shoulders, straighten that leg, allow it to draw us up. And then inhale back down. So really push that leg into the hands. Really tightening up through that core. I'm going to go for 2 more. One when we come back down, we're now going to straighten that right leg along the floor and continue that movement. And see how much higher up we can now come. If you want to take it up to that one more progression, we take those arms forwards and we reach for the foot as we come up. We're going to go for 3 more. This is our last one. Final exercise before our stretches. As we come back down, we're going to bring both legs straight along the floor, both arms overhead, and come into a lovely full body stretch. Okay, from there, let's roll onto our sides. Rest your head on your bottom arm. Keep your bottom leg bent. We're going to stretch up that top leg and take it as far back off your mat to feel that stretch running right through the front of the hip. Once it's there, we're going to bring that top arm up and over the head. See if you can find your bottom hand and come into this stretch. At this point, you can close your eyes if you want to. Focus on your breathing. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the top leg forwards, trying to keep it straight. The top arm is going to come up and over, so we're kind of looking up at the ceiling. And if it's comfortable, grab that top leg with the other hand that was left behind. Give it a little gentle pull to increase that stretch through the hip, glute, potentially lower back. On your next exhale, we're going to bring everything back to center. And we're going to just come up and over to our other side. Again, we're going to take that top leg back as far off your mat as you can, and then take that top arm over the head. Do feel free to move around in your stretches if you feel like you can find a better position. On your next exhale, let's bring that top leg forwards. Top arm is going to come up and over. So really nice deep rotational stretch. Okay, last big breath in and out. And then we're just going to bring everything back to centre. Gently push yourself up to seated. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position for you. And we're just going to finish with a few shoulder rolls with our deep breath. So let's inhale those shoulders up to the ears and exhale them back and down. And on our last one, we're just going to allow those shoulders just to fall softly down the back. And well done.